I am Indrananda Abeysekara, the President of the Association for Sri Lanka-China Social and Cultural Cooperation. Today I would like to speak about a very significant event that we face this year, and Rubber-Rice Pact between Sri Lanka and China, and also the 20th National Congress of Chinese Communist Party. Both events are very significant and also very important to Sri Lanka-China relations and also for the cooperation. Rubber-Rice Pact is a pillar of Sri Lanka-China friendship and also very important initiative for Sri Lanka-China friendship and also the cooperation and the friendly relations. And I would like to say, because of the Rubber-Rice Pact, the cooperation between two countries showed determination, also the encouragement to start very fruitful relations between two countries. And we have seen the 20th National Congress of Chinese Communist Party, and from Rubber-Rice Pact to 20th National Congress of Chinese Communist Party, we can see many different changes and also improvements and also very significant progress between two countries. First of all, I would like to speak about Sri Lanka-China relations, and we all know both countries have very good friendship, very genuine friendship, also very exemplary friendship to the whole world. And from the beginning, Sri Lanka showed its sincerity for Chinese people and Chinese government, and also to whole Chinese nation. And I can say, in this world, if we can see a very, very fruitful, friendly cooperation between two countries, that is Sri Lanka and China. And as you see, during the COVID epidemic, Chinese people, Chinese government helped Sri Lanka a lot, financially, equipment-wise, and medicine, and also the great encouragement. So after COVID, Sri Lankan people suffered a lot, and they faced many problems in their business, in their living, and their education, and their cultural life, and many areas. But Chinese people helped Sri Lankan people to get rid of some difficulties day by day. And we know the Chinese ambassador in Sri Lanka every day thinking about Sri Lankan people, and he visited many areas with many aids, many necessity things for Sri Lankan people, south, north, and many other provinces in Sri Lanka. He went to many communities, children, rural areas, schools, religious circles, and many communities. And he showed the sincerity of Chinese people to Sri Lankan people. And I think that is very good example to show that when Sri Lanka in trouble, Chinese people and Chinese government always are in action. And we can see Sri Lanka think about Chinese people, and here our Chinese communities, especially friendship organizations, they organize many programs to wish Chinese people good health when COVID spreaded. And also the Sri Lankan Friendship Organization, especially the Association for Sri Lanka-China Social and Cultural Cooperation, visited Chinese friends and extended best wishes to them. We encourage them, and that is Sri Lanka-China friendship. And also, I would like to say the cultural relations between Sri Lanka and China. The most important area to develop Sri Lanka-China relations and also friendship. As we know, there are many tourism opportunities between two countries, and Chinese culture and tourism, we can join together and we can implement many programs to fruitful for both countries. Especially in China, when I was in China, I saw many cultural prosperities, especially in religion, artwork, people's life, and folklore, many things, and also in food culture. And I think these are most important things to make good friendship between two nations. And Sri Lanka culture and Chinese culture, we can exchange not for this community, but for our future, for our youth, for our children, and they can get more and more inspiration about how to develop, how to live with cultural life, and how to get more inspirations in living. And also Sri Lanka-China friendship. As we know, at the moment in Sri Lanka we have 5 people-to-people friendship with China organizations. And all the associations are working for a common target, that is promoting people-to-people friendship, mutual understanding between two countries. And I think people-to-people friendship can more things to develop Sri Lanka-China relations through culture, education, and also social activities. As example, I would like to say we can learn a lot from China. Especially we all know Sri Lanka are facing very big trouble in economic development and also our daily life, that is after COVID. And we can study the China with more than 1.4 billion people, how to fought with COVID and how to face two problems during the epidemic. And we can study many things from China, and we can implement those things in China. We can do research and we can do studies about how China behaved during the epidemic season, and that is very useful to Sri Lanka as a developing country in the third world. And I suggest both countries has to think about common interest, and China has to help Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka has to get many examples from China, and we can develop our economy very soon if we think about Chinese concepts, policies, and also the way of governing the country. And especially you know that Chinese concepts are very useful not only for China but to the whole world. We know Chairman Mao Zedong came with socialism, concept of socialism. Then Deng Xiaoping added the socialism with Chinese characteristics. Then Jiang Zemin came with 3 represent, and also Deng Xiaoping presented the policy of reform and opening. And Hu Jintao came with harmonious society and scientific development. Then finally, Xi Jinping, the present President of China and the General Secretary of Communist Party of China, he presented Belt and Road Initiative, the socialism with Chinese characteristics for new era, and many good policies for the whole world, not only for China. So I think as a developing country, we can see how China developed with these concepts and these policies. So we need to study, we need to research these policies from socialism to Belt and Road Initiative, and also do more research and study how China developed with many concepts. As we know in Sri Lanka, time to time we change our policies, concepts, but China is not like this. But they achieved many successful targets, and they fulfilled many important objectives. So Sri Lanka need to study from China, learn from China, and do research about these concepts and policies, and get some help to develop our country. And especially poverty eradication program. And China, more than the target, they achieved poverty eradication and showed their courage and their ability to the whole world. And country like Sri Lanka first must get the information and policies and the work plan how China eradicate poverty. And it's very important to Sri Lanka, and also it's very important to our region, to the whole world. And these are the things that we have to, as Sri Lankans, we have to pay attention how China developed the country and what are the examples we can absorb to our development. And also the national unity. And we know China has 56 nationalities, very nice culture, very united, and very nice folklore inside their lives. And we can see how they are living with harmonious society. And so that is most important to Sri Lankan people. And Sri Lanka, we have around 6-7 nationalities, but in China 56, and very peaceful life and common development. And Sri Lanka can learn a lot about national unity from Chinese minorities. And that is most important to build up close relations between two nations when we go for study about Chinese ethnic life. I would like to speak little much about cultural development of China. And during we visit many cultural heritages in China, we saw how they manage it and how they allowed people to connected with cultural heritage activities and also to build up their lives. And when we go to a cultural heritage site in China, we can see many things they join together. And in Sri Lanka also we can do same thing, and we can study how China manage their cultural heritage and how they develop their cultural heritage, how they can absorb tourists for their cultural heritages, and that we can get more good examples to develop our cultural heritage and also tourism. And between two countries we can strengthen the Buddhist tourism activities, and both countries have many Buddhists who would like to visit each country and see the culture of China and also see the beauty of China. And especially we can see that China has same concept like 8 sacred places, like in China we call Pata Chu, and also in Sri Lanka we have same thing. It's 8 sacred temples, and we can aware tourism tourists from both countries to visit each other countries and get ideas about their religious activities and also religious cultures, many development concepts, policies, and also the methods. I think we need to strengthen the friendly cooperation and also educational cooperation, cultural cooperation between Sri Lanka and China. And I suggest to develop more and more sister school programs between Sri Lanka and China, because the youth are more important to carry forward our friendship for future, for new era. To build a good youth cooperation to new era, we need to strengthen sister school projects between two countries and also sister university projects between two countries. And same time, we can develop sister city program between two countries, and we can absorb many development concepts in China, and we can get more experience from them. So this is most important, the culture. We need to exchange cultures between both countries. In China, very rich in culture, and we can get more experience from Chinese culture, many fields. And also we need to strengthen cultural cooperation between many fields. And also we know in Sri Lanka we have Chinese International Cultural Center, and through these centers we can develop more cooperation and more activities. And also we need to build exchanges between professionals in cultural field, so they can get more knowledge and they can give good strength to develop our education, and also they can give more strength to make good people, and that is the most important thing. And China, we can see the courageous people and educated people, and through people to people friendship we can build very good cooperation, very good exchanges, and also sincerity in friendship. And finally, I would like to wish all the best for all endeavors between Sri Lanka and China. And also I wish Chinese people will join with Sri Lankan people to enter to a new era. And Sri Lankan people always with Chinese people. Thank you.